Hey, this is Stephan from THANATOS. How are you doing? Luxy from the Metal Crypt asked me to give you like four inspiring album or the four most influential, inspiring records in my collection. Music that made me become a guitarist or made me form a band or just got me into music at all. Well, it's practically impossible to pick just four. So I could pick 25 here today, but four was really not possible, so I have made it five, okay? So let's go with the first thing, the first album that really got me into louder music, into heavier music. I've already seen some images of their previous albums in the record shops, but my mother wouldn't let me buy it because I was like 10, 11 years old. She thought it was all demonic and devilish, so. But when this came out, Kiss Alive 2, oh, it's so fucking gorgeous. The inside cover, you all know it, I hope. It's incredible. Anyway, when this came out, look at the demon face, black metal started here. Anyway, just gave me goosebumps and it pulled me into the heaviest side of music, into hard rock, later on heavy metal. So Kiss was like a huge thing for me. And I still like the band until this day. So I know they made shitty albums, but all in all, Kiss is still like something that's close to the heart. Anyway, when the album or the band that really drew me into making music myself, to make me form a band, it was the first time I heard a song called Witching Hour on the radio. And it's on this album, Venom, Welcome to Hell. The first time I heard that in 1981, I think, it's really, man, it sent shivers down my spine. It pulled me through the gates of hell, into the dark, deserted pits of pandemonium. All know where this is going. But Venom, and especially Welcome to Hell, it opened up the gates of hell and opened up the gates of musicianship for me, and it made me decide to form a band that became Thanatos, obviously. So I was a huge Venom fan, and I liked Venom better than anything else in the world, even better than Slayer when they released their first album, Show No Mercy. But then this little thing came around, Hell Awaits, and I remember buying it on the same day as Venom's Possessed, and I had to admit that this was really something else, The atmosphere, the riff, the opening of this album, it was incredible, and Slayer became the next big inspiration, and of course we wanted to sound like Slayer in the beginning, and we wanted to have a drummer that played like Dave Lombardo. We wanted to have the speed, the aggression. But later on, Slayer also got us into the tape trading thing. I started trading tapes with a lot of people, and we got to know heavier bands and even more brutal stuff. I don't think it was better than Hell Awaits, but it was more brutal. And one of the albums that really was the blueprint, I think, for the first couple of Thanatos demo tapes was this one, Possessed, Seven Churches. It's still one of the greatest death thrash albums ever made, so this is high on my list, always in my top 10 of all time, as well as the other bands, albums that I just mentioned. So yeah, that's the one that maybe set out the direction for my future bands, and it was an incredible influence and inspirational album. As you grow older, you sometimes go back to the roots or to an album you might have neglected in the first place. I always liked this band and I always liked this album, but when I got a little bit older, I started listening to it more and more, and nowadays I think this Rainbow Rising is like the best hard rock album ever made in history. It's just fucking awesome, Stargazer might be the best hard rock track ever written. So yeah, it's not all death metal and thrash metal. I hope you really enjoyed my little musical journey, things that inspired me and made me start a band and made me want to pick up a guitar and everything. And these records still move me, and they are still they have a big place in my heart. So here you go. Enjoy this.